Hey, Shalom, Masha. I want to start off as always by giving all praise to Yahweh, Shem El Shah, Shem Kodash, double honors to the apostles of GMS, honestly brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and sincerity. It says this one is inspired, just reasoning with a brother, speaking about how basically he had one foot below, apparently got robbed, whatever, what have you. And, I just sent him this gift here, right? I will find you. Right, and that's what the curses be like, man. Because as the scriptures say, right, these curses were gonna pursue us. This is Deuteronomy 28:45. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. So it was actually a curse that the Lord put upon us to basically say, rather these curses were put upon us to always follow us, to always find us in one way or another. That's why you got Jakes that be feeling the curses raw, and then you have Jakes that you might think, oh, they're doing good, but guess what, the curses be coming in one way or another, right? We can see that in our so-called extended families. We have a family member that's doing good, but then you hear about certain things in the family. It was like, well, that's just the curses, right? These curses will find us, but the thing is, why will they find us? Why? First part is in this verse. This is because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power. So all of the things that we go through, we're going through because we went off. In fact, the scriptures say this. This is Romans 3:23. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. So what is the wages of sin? Death, right? So because we sinned, that's why we constantly die. But that's the beauty of the new covenant, when pursuant to Romans 8, Hebrews 8 and 6, or 6 and 8. Let me get it, because now I've forgotten where it is. Yes, 8 and 6. Right, pursuant to Hebrews 8 and 6. What is going to be a new covenant, but now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he's the mediator of a better covenant, referring to Yahushai, right? He's the mediator in that better covenant, which was established upon better promises. For if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second, right? Because the first covenant required Israel to always be, to never go off, right? But we're in this flesh, and we were gonna go off. It says, for finding fault with them, the Israelites, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I'll make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Right, and this new covenant is to basically put the laws, covenants in our hearts, to give us a heart of flesh, as opposed to this heart of stone that we have at the moment. Where you read, Paul basically said, look, in my flesh dwelleth no good thing. It also says that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Right? The things I want to do, I do not, and the things I do not want to do, I do. Roughly paraphrasing, right? Basically meaning we want to do right, but just in these flesh, we go off, and the wages of sin is death, right? So carrying on in Hebrews 8, it says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I'll make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I'll put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I'll be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. So all Israel's going, ultimately just be automatic righteous, but it's not always been so, right? We went off, and majority of our people are still going off willingly. Even us, in this truth, once again, we do our best, but we still go off. Okay. But yeah, so why do these curses pursue us? Right, because we went off, but also because of verse 46 says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Right, so you think about a shop. Above a shop has a sign. That's how you know whether you're going past Sainsbury's, Tesco, Target, Walmart, Curry's, PC World, Dixon's, Carphone Warehouse, T-Mobile, whatever it is, you name it. That's how you know what shop it is, right? Because of the sign that is above the shop, right? And that's what these curses are. These curses are once you know the scriptures, or rather once the scriptures have been opened unto you, pursuant to Amos 3, right? It says, our Lord will do nothing but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets, right? But it's only when you understand, when given the blessed with the understanding of these scriptures, right, they're able to see, oh wait, that's an Israelite, right? I'm an Israelite, because these curses were quite specific and pinpointed in certain of their of their description. For I'll give an example. Right, it says Isaiah 3 and 16. This is moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walked with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, but they're proud, right, walking and mincing as they go, make a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. Right, and then I'm going to jump further down also, right, just to get to the point. Right, this is verse 24. It says, and it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, they shall be sting, literal, right? Be around a women, just though they don't smell pleasant. It says, and instead of a girdle of rent, they're overweight, right? It says, and instead of well set hair, boldness. Would you look at that? It says, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and and burning instead of beauty. Yeah, man, our women ain't be looking all that good. Right now, hey, when you really stop and consider, what's the one group of women on the face of the planet Earth that don't have hair? You think about it, you walk past an Edomite woman with long hair, you're like, oh, you don't even consider, you might be like, oh, that's some long hair. But you don't think, I wonder if it's weave. You walk past a Moabite woman, you don't stop it and thinking, I wonder if that's her real hair. Walk past the Israelite woman now, walk past the nigger woman now, the first thing you think of is that weave? Is that natural? There's all of these different things, right? So who does this curse pertain to? It pertains to this so-called black woman, man, right? And nobody else. You have those Amalekites who try and make it fit them, but it doesn't. Okay. So we carry on. So this is basically that's one son that's very telling, right? For instance, you have several in here, but I'm just going to just get the point. It says verse 54 says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. Now, who is that talking? It's talking about the so-called black man, right? Gang on gang violence. You walk past Jakes in certain neighborhoods, man. You don't know whether that Jake is wishing you harm or not. And it says, "I'm unto the remnant of his children which he shall leave." I mean, once again, you see a so-called white woman walking on her own, pushing a pram, right? You just naturally expect, maybe the father's at work. See a so-called black woman pushing a pram on her own. It's like, you don't even consider the father. You're like, maybe she's single. That's the first place that people's minds go to, right? Because this is fitting of, what you call it, of the Israelite man, right? And then got two more. Where is it? 48. Okay. So verse 48 says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Once again, you look up a yoke of iron. We've discussed this many a time. We know what you're going to see. And of course, Deuteronomy 28:68 says, and Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, when you read Revelation 11 and 8, Egypt is basically referring to America, right? says because England and not England's Israel and Egypt uh, share a land border, right? Israel and Egypt share a land border. Okay, so it's not talking about ancient Egypt. It says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, right? And no man shall buy you, right? No man shall redeem you, no man shall save you. Okay, so it says, what group of people were taken into slavery by way of ships? Right, the children of Israel. So all of these curses were going to be upon us for a son in this season. All of these curses were going to find us so that we were able to identify who we were, who, when we're scattered amongst the nations, right? 64 is another point on this as well. It says, and Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Right, so Israel, we are scattered everywhere, but these curses help us identify who our lost our brethren are, right? So that's why once again, the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai and the eyes to see, we're able to be like, yo, hey, that so-called Albanian, hey, that's a Jake, as an example. Because hey, just the ones I've met over here in London, a large amount of them have to be Jake. They're just niggas, man. They just straight up niggas for them. I gotta say it like that because that's how it be, right? As Romans 8:16 says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So through the Spirit we're able to tell. But the Lord has also helped, has left like carnal markers that are able that we can use to help identify as well, right? But this is why another reason why these curses pursue us. This is Hosea 1:10. It says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. Right, so us with the eyes to see, who've been blessed with the eyes to see, we're able to we've experienced this, people saying that you're not the people of the children of the Most High, right? But it's becoming more and more evident, and as these scriptures come out, more people are able to be like, yo, hey, maybe these guys are the Israelites, and for the Jakes amongst them, like, yo, maybe I'm an Israelite, right? And those curses play a part in that, in helping to identify who the children of Israel are. I'm going to leave you with one more, Jeremiah 17:4. It says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. Yeah, so we discontinue, we forgot who we were. We forgot who we were. You mean, look at Jay, such on a low level, right? No power, no might. All the world thinks that as in the lower levels, but all they ever see Jake and consider is slavery. That's the most we have amounted to in the eyes of all of these heathens. But the ones at the top know, the ones that know they know that we're the Israelites. They know we were more than just slaves. Right, Psalms 83rd chapter says they came together with one consent to bring us down, and part of that was to make us forget who we were. It says, and I'll cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger which shall burn forever. Okay, so we've been scattered amongst all the heathen nations and serving captivity under them, right? Because we went off, right? But yeah, so as always, Lord's will that was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.